Yes.
Ron, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, everybody. Tonight is it's May 6th of 2022 already. Things are moving on. I'm Ron Hulbert from Orlando. And tonight is Friday Night Live with myself and Lynn Nakamoto, my co-host. And we have a good crowd already. We got almost 200 people. That's awesome. Lynn has got again, I commend her. She's got another great show for us. So sit back, enjoy the ride, write your questions down, and let's get this thing started. Go ahead, Lynn.
Love you, Ron. So glad you're here to co-host with me. Love it. Thank you so much. Okay, welcome everybody. And tonight we have a great topic for you, Innovation Labs. Now, how many of you in this group here today want to learn about Innovation Labs? Raise your hands. It's a great topic. This is a topic that we want to discuss. Ash Mufarah on Monday at the round table talked about the fact that OnPassive is going to have its own innovation lab. And today you're going to find out why you should all be excited and ecstatic that we have our own lab. So we're going to begin now with Collins, who is going to give us an overview and give you a couple of examples of innovation labs. Go ahead and unmute, Collins.
Thank you, Lynn. And thank you all the panelists and the attendees. Yeah, we are here and we're very grateful to be here again to talk about another topic, Innovation Lab. And we want to go again and to find out why is it important? Why do we really need it? Should OnPassive have an innovation lab? And, we will dive deep and we want to explain that. For every company to be successful, major company, we know, be it in IT industry or whatever you can think, and to be sustainable and stay for a longer time, there is a necessity for us to have an innovation lab. No matter what, those companies that have existed for decades upon decades, if you look at it, they have an innovation lab. So what is an innovation lab and why is it necessary? So let's look at the definition. They said an innovation lab is a semi-autonomous organization that engages diverse participants on a long-term basis in open collaboration for the purpose of creating, elaborating, and prototyping practical solutions to pre-identified system. That is the definition. Pre-identified system, they must prototype. So it means you need to have a place where you can bring people to brainstorm. For instance, when you set up an organization, you build things, you do things like our CEO or whatever you may be, CEO of a company. Remember, you cannot do it all yourself. How long will you think and come up with idea? You need people that can sit and come up with idea to help you to grow your business. You need, experts, and to put them together is not an easy task. Most companies you may think of will have them. Beverages, they have it. You can walk in and you test what they are doing. So there will be a prototype of it. So when they think about something, for instance, our CEO can think about something and say, you know what? Let me call a group of experts. Let them see what they can do. Maybe they'll bring wonderful ideas that will drive, the ideas that he already have in place and can make it better. They are the people that can see whatever you say you want, they will say we can do it. So for instance, you can say, I want my mobile phone to fly. They will never say it's not possible. They'll tell you, we can do it. Those are the type of people you want. A mobile phone that can sit somewhere. How many of the time have we misplaced our car keys, and you said, oh, I wish my car key has a mouth to tell me this is where I am. How many times have your phone, your battery have died? Mobile phone, and you say, where is my phone? But imagine you have something that you can just snap your finger and your phone is in front of you. Everybody will die for it because that's what we want. These are the experts that will sit and drive something and said, you know what, tell us what you want, we will do it. So most companies will have it everywhere and scattered all over the country. And let us look at what makes a good innovation lab. Why, what will make you, so if you have a lab, what makes it to be better? They said it must have a clear purpose that will empower a parent organization. You know, it must have a clear or a defined purpose. If there is no defined purpose, forget about it. And secondly, they said it must have a creative team with a breadth of expertise, those who can brainstorm and come up with ideas. It must also have a working space. If there's no working space, forget it. And that is why you must have a place that is away from the parent organization that they can sit, think, and create something. And then they must have what? A portfolio of projects that will push and drive the parent organization. So they must have something in place, right? Now, when we look at it, we said, okay, they must have something, produce prototype. Think about what? So these are the people that think behind. You know, you have the company, you have everything, but they sit and think and come up with something. So I'll give a common example. Just think about beverage company. We have different flavors, right? The flavor didn't fall from heaven. People sit and think about it, they produce it, and they put a test and invite people to come into the lab and say, can you try it? They test it, they look at the market trend, they say, wow, this will be great. You know, then they send it now to the parent organization for mass production because they know it will be nice. Now, and you know, you can look at the cars manufacturing company, they produce more and more every day, different system coming. That is innovation. You know, innovation is about thinking and creativity of something. So I will leave it there and I'll give it back to Auntie Lynn. This is just a little brief we want to explain, and I think my brother tech people, they are here to give more samples and information about Innovation Lab. Thank you, Auntie Lynn.
That was great, Collins. It just gave us a brief overview, and I think that's what we all wanted to see. So now I would like to move it to Oliver Fonte. Take the floor. Come on down, Oliver.
Yeah, hi everybody. Good job, Brother Collins, for the intro. I want to thank Jeffrey Mallock is here. Thank you, bro, for being here to give us, as usual, your in and out of how we are doing and give you a suggestion. I'm very proud of you, Jeffrey. Let me also talk to Lynn. Thank you, sis, for being here, Auntie Lynn, to coordinate us and make us to be sure that we are on the right track. Maddie, thank you also, Maddie, for being there to make sure that our OTech Pro, we are doing a good job and coordinating the whole thing. Yeah, we are talking about Innovative Lab. The CEO talked to us last time, that was Monday, that we have our Innovative Lab, Innovative Lab. Yeah, let me say that. But this is huge. This is big. The CEO keep coming up all the time to make us to feel like we don't even know where we are. Being in the IT field for all these years, the decade, Mr. Ash Mufara, our CEO, keep embarrassing me with all my IT experience and the field, making me to look like I'm a baby, you know. So because each time he comes up, there's a new thing. By the time I think I'm proactive, he makes me to feel like a baby in IT. You know, last time he talked about AI and machine learning in Hyderabad, that we have a department in machine learning and AI in Hyderabad. he came again and make me to be like a baby talking about O Junior in Dubai. I was like, what will Ash not do to me? What do the CEO, Mr. Ash Mufara, not do to me to embarrass me, to make me that all my 24 years in IT, I'm still like nothing, you know? But I'm very happy that he keeps me warm up and keep going back to my books. And for all what we know, that technology today is becoming the key in almost all the countries all over the world. Technology, not only technology, but with artificial intelligence and machine learning. That is one aspect that AI has been since more than 40 years today, but on passive, and the CEO, our CEO, Mr. Ash Bufara, has tapped into all the features of AI, almost all the features in AI. That is why today, even when we've not launched, we are leading in AI and machine learning. Now he took us now to this point of innovative labs. We know all the other companies, the big tech companies, they do have, but there's one thing that is lacking in them: AI, machine learning from scratch, artificial intelligence embedded into all our products from scratch, 100% automated integration, API, technology, all hybrid, from data center, IPv6, IPv4, hybrid. Come again, we've not launched. We have fiber optic cable to our servers. Come again, 5G, brightness of our future. O Connect is going to be the best and the best all over the world. Come again, we talk of O Academy, the best and the best with everything all over the world. When we want to talk about, I can name the products. O Chart is going to be, while we are sleeping, they are working for us. I can name the products that are embedded. Now we are going to have innovative labs. We have big companies, the big high-tech companies, innovative lab. It's now that they are trying to patch AI, machine learning in their own innovative labs. Guess what? We have AI and machine learning. Our CEO is a very smart guy. He has done his homework before introducing whatever thing he wants to introduce to us or to the public. When he said that we are going to own the planet, the 5 billion people that access the internet today, we are going to take over the 8 billion, including animals. He knows what he's talking about. When I look into all this, I go back to what he has been telling us, and I tie it to what he's telling us today. I know there are more coming in the nearby future that he's going to embarrass us with it. And I'm prepared, and I know he has been embarrassing me, making me in the IT field for more than 24 years, like a baby, but I'm up to the task. Now the innovative labs. When he talk about O Junior, and he go to Hyderabad, he talks about AI and machine learning, artificial intelligence and machine learning. The prototypes that are there, they will work on the prototypes and introduce it to our innovative labs that they will work, come out with scientists, designer, researchers. They'll work onto all what they want to introduce to our innovative labs, test them, then throw it back to them. Is that not wonderful? That is why when he tells us that we are going to be at the top all the time, we are 5 years ahead of all the tech companies. That is true. Now I can put my head around all what he has been telling us from before and for today. When I go back, I want to analyze all what he has been telling us from when I came in 2020 to today. I can wrap my head around what he has been telling us to what he had a bigger picture, and he's always proactive. And one thing I've got to that I've learned from our CEO is that he has done his homework, his due diligence. He has looked into all the products that are now in the market, with all what the old tech guys that they thought they are the big guns in the market. He looked into them and look at the gaps that they got to build each of our products from old Trim, old Academy, old Connect, and we are leading. He told us that without even telling us that we have innovative lab coming. I was shocked when he said on the other day on Monday, roundtable, that he's in Boston. He wants to get the best and the best of the scientists. And guess what? He said again, funding. Funding is not the problem. I've been in the corporate world in IT. Every September, they will tell us, the executives, that we should prepare for the next year budgeting for the coming year. That will submit in October. That will start in January, first quarter to March, first quarter, from April to April, May, June, second quarter, and so on and so forth. All CEOs complain about funding. Being in the corporate world for about 10 years, all what I've been hearing about all the CEO funding. But when Mr. Ash Mufara talked to us on Monday, he said funding is not the problem because we are going to have an innovative lab. I was like, Mr. Ash Mufara, what do you want to do me? What do you want to do to me again? You want to kill me or what? An innovative lab in all the other companies, I don't like to call names, but the big companies, the big tech companies that we know, they think that they are the giant. I know our CEO is crazy when it comes to technology and when it comes to, he wants to put something out there in the world. Again, he said that funding is not the problem. Give me what I want. Don't tell me about Facebook. Don't tell me about any other tech company's name. We want unpassive. We want unpassive. That took me different level. He has been preparing us, Junior, artificial intelligence and machine learning in Hyderabad, and the qualities to have an innovative lab. There are some certain qualities that we need to know, expertise. We need to have good researchers. We need to have good scientists. We need to have software designers. We need to have people who can think, test, good tester. People who are not in this our normal world. That's why he went to Boston to look for them. I know, I don't know, but I think and I know Harvard, MIT, and the rest, that because Boston is the core of education, that you have the best and the best. He went but there, he told us that he traveled, he is there, and he was in Boston for more than 2 months. That speaks volume. That speaks volume. I was asking myself, even when we went to Boston to meet with him for the grand launching, the birthday of Unpassive to the world, I was asking, why is it that Ash Mufara, our CEO, is in Boston for more than 2 months? I got it now. I got it, and we got it that he was there for business. That's why an innovative lab is there. Location to have an innovative lab should not be where the parent company and the innovative lab are supposed to be distance away. We don't know where the location is. We know he always surprises us. We don't know where he's going to put the location, but it cannot be where the parent company is, like Hyderabad, Dubai. It's going to be unknown. Maybe he will tell us in the nearby future. But for what I know as an IT person, innovative labs are not always on the same location or the same area or continent where the lab is. Because these are people that are supposed to be in a confined environment, that they will think well, the researchers, that they will think well, the designers, the scientists, the engineers, that will think that would think now I'll also go back to O Junior, AI and machine learning that are going to be in Hyderabad and Dubai that we know now. I'm talking to what we know now. We've not seen the architecture diagram or the flow diagram of whatever thing is going on, but I'm talking on what I think as an IT person that has been in the field for a while. They will initiate the prototype and send it to our innovative labs to work on it, think, the scientists, the designer, the researcher, they'll work on it. Then now they'll send it. See what he did. He told us that in Dubai, I always tie my things back to what he has been telling us, that Dubai is going to have O Junior section. We should know that our children, our kids are very, very smart when it comes to technology now in this our current century. For what I'm saying is this, they will go there, he will experiment, AI will be watching them, what they are doing, how they are playing with our technology, and AI will grab them, send everything, they'll grab everything, capture it, send to our innovative labs. They will study them, what our kids they've been doing, they will be playing with all this technology there, send it to our innovative labs, they'll work on it, come out with the best and the best. That's why when he tell us few months back that we are going to be ahead of the game all the time. By the time all the other big tech companies that they call themselves, they are big tech companies, they want to get to us, we are taking to the next space. I want to say, I'm so proud to be an O founder. I'm an Unpersevian, and in the tech industry, the CEO has been challenging me, and I like what he is doing, and I'm up to the task with all the challenges, and we will come here, the old tech pro guys, we will come here to break it down to you people and make you people to understand where we are. And I want to say we are fine. We should be proud to be the biggest tech company that has not been launched, and we can see what is going on now, and we know we are the insider, that we should be proud of ourselves. When he said we should be arrogant, the arrogance that he said that we should be is that we should be proud of ourselves to be part of this company. And I'll leave it there and give it to Auntie Lynn. Take it from there, because I can talk and talk and talk. Thank you.
That was wonderful. And I think that it opens our eyes up to what's coming up in the future. Unlimited potential to me with this innovation lab. And I agree, you know, when Ashma Farah says, oh, we could be a little arrogant, I think he meant proud. Just be so proud of what we have at hand and what is coming up. Thank you so much, Oliver. Now we have Vincent Ete, who would like to speak.
Okay, thank you, Auntie Lynn. Thank you, Ron, for this wonderful webinar tonight again. And thanks, Big Prof. Matty, and also Jeffrey. Thank you. And for start, let's also thank my brothers who have done a very big show tonight. We have thanks, Colin, for your delivery tonight. Thanks also, Oliver. So our topic tonight is talking about innovation labs. And then innovation labs for tonight, I will talk about first topic I'll talk is innovation lab for automotive company. We all know that car company are amazing there, and then they also doing automotive lab. So I'll just using some of the examples so that to break it down, and then people will get exactly what I'm talking about. Because in the automotive lab, we have something like, you know, a innovative force in the car industry. They have also autonomous driving, like drove itself more than 1,000 miles in Mojave Desert. So they did one of the automotive example, taking a car and then drive the car in the desert, Mojave Desert, to make sure that that automotive is working. And then once they finish, and they can maybe bring it to life, and then we can have those cars drive in our street. So the first part of the lab, they took the car drove itself in the desert. So about like 100 miles. Then when the same time, other experts are working they call it machine learning. So the machine learning enable automotive cars that could maybe drive one day in our busy street. So also, they are also working on that. And then other team, the same time, they are working on the polar system, like the car can have energy, or the vehicle, and then the vehicle have an energy system where if you have a sun system, and then the car, the energy will drive the car away. So this is all the research they are putting down. This called also the innovative lab. And then the research is for human machine to interact with the driving simulator. So this is also what they are working on it as well. So part of that, they use also artificial intelligence system, like my brother Oliver mentioned here. The artificial intelligence system also is doing a very powerful impact in this automotive driving system. So we have also, in part of the automotive company, they're also trying to put a like solid state battery, because the new electric car, they have a battery inside. And then what the automotive, they bring it down is to try, and the aim is to put this system in large scale production, so that the battery, and then the battery can drive for long scale, like maybe 1,000 miles, and then without having any issues. So this system is put in place, and then it will be done by 2025. So this is one of the innovation in the car industry as well. They are also convinced that this thing, it could be maybe changing the times, and although convince system, the solid battery system. And then this is a new generation of electric drives. So they are putting in place, and then they are working on that. People are doing the research, and then they believe this will take a longer range for the next generation of batteries. And also, let's say that innovation also bring together researchers, students, industry and government, even the community, to enable our future of human-centric mobilities. So this is how they put in all the community, people, government, all of us together to do that, to innovate these technologies. So people and machine work together, so that we can have an important building service for the future, the new vehicle future. So this is one part of the innovation. I'll go to another company, like also the innovation lab company. Also, they are working on the aim is to reinvent the e-commerce and the digital capacity. So they are working on that, so that we can have a creative, unified shopping system, the new shopping system. So this is also another innovative, so that they're trying to do to help our society to move in. So the vision of this center is to create a place where we can test, learn, and interact as rapidly as possible around new technologies. So this is what they're trying to do as well. And then the company has made favor investment in a collaboration, like they can have like 75 seat place, open place. So when people come, they can see there, and they bring the layout, and then encourage interdepartmental communication, help people to bring the innovation to life. So anything they have, like e-commerce and digital market, so they are working on that, so that we can have a new generation of e-commerce and then digital market. So thank you, Lynn. I will leave it there for my brother Bob to carry on.
That was great, Vincent. Thank you. Next, we have Bob Takuthi, and he's going to be giving us some examples, and as well as talking about AI and how these innovative labs are going to be affecting Unpassive.
Yeah. Hello, Auntie Lynn, Uncle Ron. Good to see you all. From beautiful Bel Air, Maryland. Mr. Moloch, it's a pleasure seeing you always. Brother Mari, I know you are here somewhere. And to my fellow colleagues, good to see you. You know, for the past couple of weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks, we'll be talking about continuous monitoring and maintenance. We've talked about continuous delivery. You know, we call it stacking the cool. Mr. Mufara says it's stacking the cool. We'll talk about innovative lab or innovation labs. It's just in that same train of thought. Bringing these labs are coming in because we want to keep on stacking the cool. And I agree with my brother Collins, his definition of an innovation lab. It really is. That would give you a. There's somebody, yeah. Okay. It really is a semi-autonomous organization within an organization. And for those of us who know Mr. Ash and who know him, and the most that we know about him, he has actually unleashed our engineers, our developers in Hyderabad so that they can achieve their optimum potential. And this innovation lab is just gearing towards getting the experts, you know, the designers, like Oliver said, the engineers, the testers who are going to be testing whatever the prototypes are. He's creating some kind of like a think tank, you know, that is going to be bringing out new initiatives and new developments for us so that we can keep on stacking our cool, as he says. Now, but Mr. Mufara has been giving us clues for the past couple of months. Again, like my brother Oliver said, remember about 4 months ago, he told us about our training and development, you know, department that we have. And then I think he came out the following month and he told us about our AI and machine learning department. Then when we go to Hyderabad, as we're introducing ourselves to the world, he told us again about our old juniors. Like Oliver said, old juniors is a futuristic platform that they are creating it for children to come because their minds are very imaginative. They think a lot, they are free. You know, they can play with the systems and the system is going to capture whatever things they do, because sometimes they might play with it and then could not replicate whatever they did. So the system AI and everything is only capturing it to drop it down to our, you know, to the innovative lab so that they can now work on it to figure out exactly what they were doing and they can start building from those ideas. So that is the beauty about what Mr. Ash did. So sometimes, like my brother Oliver rightly says, sometimes you have to listen to Mr. Ash, what he said 2 weeks ago, and then you listen to him, what he said the following week, and then you put it together to make sense with it. When he talked about this innovations lab, then things actually made a whole lot of sense to me, what he's trying to do. He's actually just directing us to take over and just take off completely, you know? And as he's doing that, where is he at right now? He's in Boston. The pinnacle of academia in the world is in Boston, Massachusetts. What do we have there? We have Harvard, we have MIT, we have Boston College. So he's there right now looking for those folks who are going to be autonomous, you know, in their thought processes, in their designs, in their ideas, in whatever thing they decide that they want to bring forward. Everything that they're going to be doing is to add value. They're going to be adding value to either enhance a particular product or maybe even bring something disruptive. It does not only have to be, it could be a disruptive solution that they could bring to either complement what we have or even change the whole dynamics totally. That is what Mr. Ash is doing, and that's what he's good at. And like Oliver said again, he does not bind them by budget. And he does not believe in, I cannot do it. I can't do it. No, that does not exist in Mr. Ashmufara's vocabulary. No, he believes that there's always a way for something. There's always a solution to everything. If there's an idea, it can be achieved. And that is why Mr. Mufara is creating this innovations lab for us. Why do we need an innovations lab? Some of my brothers have already put in some of the ideas, but number one, I think, he told us on Monday that our ecosystem is done, right? Our digital ecosystem is done, it's ready. So what do? You start preparing future enhancements, future initiatives, the things that you do to enhance the system. So if our digital system, if our system, if we are done, then it warrants us to have this lab, this autonomous group of people, geniuses who are going to be adding value to our system. We are coming into the industry as a cutting edge. We are the leaders, like Oliver said, we are already on top, we're at the top of the game. We need our innovations lab so that we can continuously stay ahead of the curve. We're going to continuously add value to OnPassive. Every single product of OnPassive, we're going to continuously improve and add value to them. And most importantly, my dear friends, OnPassivians, our bottom line, like Mr. Mike Ellis always talks about, the bottom line. Our bottom line, this is good for us, the founders. Mr. Mufara has said that he's going to share everything with us. So this innovations lab, anything that's going to be coming out of this lab is good for us, for our bottom line, for us the founders, for our finances. My brothers, we talked about a few labs that are out there. I'm going to cite some examples. I think it warrants us. It's a good thing to cite some companies that have actually gone through and have innovations labs and they have done well. So let me start with the Amazon. All of us, we all know Amazon. We all know how Amazon started, how Jeff Bezos started with Amazon. He was selling books in his garage. That's how he started. So when Amazon came on to the limelight, what did they do? In 2003, they created their innovations lab in Sunnyvale, California. That's where the lab is. And what did they do? Their main aim was to see what they can do digitally with the books that they were creating. What could they do? What came out of that initiative, out of that innovations lab in 2007 was the revolutionary Kindle. The Kindle came out of an idea of a group of people who were inside an innovation lab that developed it. And the word is that when it came out, when the Kindle came out, after 5.5 hours, they sold out. After 5.5 hours, the Kindle was sold out. So, and most of everything that has been coming out of Amazon, all of their hardware, all of their stuff, you have other devices that they have created. Amazon has brought forward like the Fire TV and Alexa. They are all, just imagine the Alexa. They are all products of the people that we're talking about, the engineers, the designers, the testers, the think tank, the people that have been given this autonomy to sit down and think out of the box and think creatively to create solutions, design the prototype, do the, what we call proof of concept, create everything and then they bring it to the market. That is an example of what an innovations lab could do for a company like Amazon. We also have an example that I will cite here again. There's a bank called Capital One Bank. All of us know Capital One. Most of us will have their credit cards, right? They have two innovations labs. One is in New York and the other is here in the DC area in Arlington, Virginia. What are they tasked to do? To solve problems between finance and technology. They are trying to merge finance and technology together. They have also used artificial intelligence to its core. There are other people that you can call Capital One Bank at any time. Somebody will serve you. They have a 24 hours customer service. That is AI, automation. That comes out from their innovations lab. So I just wanted to cite those two examples and to let you guys know that what Mr. Mufara has done for us, it's a very, 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 very good deal. Our products, our system, everything that OnPassive is bringing, like Oliver said, we are already ahead of the game. Remember the SSS. Our products are superior. Every single product of OnPassive is superior to what we have now. I always say this all the time. The four of us here, we are in the IT industry. We have a combined total experience of about almost 90 years. So we use most of these products that OnPassive has right now, today in the industry. We use a variation of them. We are testifying here that OnPassive products, there's no match. When OnPassive comes into the market, we are beating everybody hands down based on what our knowledge right now. And we'll find a day where we can compare these products, what we have in the market with OnPassive, and show you guys exactly what we're talking about. So we are superior. The system is sophisticated. It's the most sophisticated system that has been built. You know, the infrastructure, AI embedded from scratch, integrated. We don't know of any right now. Most companies are doing reverse engineering. They are trying to come back to implement AI. They are patching. They are doing all kinds of stuff. No, we are coming from the ground up with AI. And the system, as it gets older, the better it gets from scratch. There's no company that can compare with us. You know, and then we are secure. The third S is security. And what is Mr. Mufara doing right now? Mr. Mufara has started, we saw, all of us were in Boston, myself, Mr. Moloch, Auntie Lynn, Uncle Ron, Oliver, and I don't know if I'm missing anybody here. We're all, Miss Julie was there. You know, we're all in Boston with Mr. Ash. And we introduced OnPassive to the world. Now he's begun the branding of OnPassive, the three mix. It's branding it, it's marketing it, and it's advertising it. You know, we have begun seeing the images from India. What did Mr. Mufara do? He has compounded and compounded and compounded in the UAE, in Dubai. And then now he's replicating it in India. We saw some images. Thank you, Mr. Gusminda. We saw some images already coming out of India, you know. So we are actually in a very good place, very solid place. But let me end by saying this out of personal experience. And I want us to hail our founder, Ash Mufare. You know, most of my colleagues here know, Auntie Lynn and Marty, you all know, I've been in a conference, in a world conference. I'm an IT security analyst. I've been in a conference since Wednesday of this week, you know, talking IT security and technology as a whole. Here is what was very prevalent in the conference, where I say, hail to Ash Mufare. The primary topic that we've been talking about in the conference is digital transformation. Digital transformation. That's what IT people, IT companies that are talking about how we go to the next level digitally, how we are transforming, going to the digital age. But guess what? Mr. Mufara has already taken us there. That's where we are. We are inside Dubai right now, where the king of Dubai has already signed, is trying to digitalize the entire nation, and all the countries around the Gulf area, they are now trying to digitalize their economies and everything. And Ash Mufara takes us into the middle of there and say, hey, here we are, we have everything. But that's what they are talking. They are making projections in 2025. That's what they were saying yesterday. They're talking about cloud. We have our own data center, AI cloud, hybrid. Already, AI cloud hybrid. And there was a report that they tell us from, there's a company called Gartner. It's like a research group, research corporation. They do technology research. They are projecting that more than half of all IT expenditure in key markets will shift to the cloud by 2025. More than half. And they're also projecting that this year, 2022, $1.3 trillion will be spent in cloud services. And Ash Mufara is bringing us, and then by 2025, it will be $1.8 trillion. Ash Mufara is taking us to that direction, digital transformation to that direction, and is placing us right there to grab it, guys. Also, they talked about digital trust. When you're transforming systems and everything digitally, there should be digital trust. How do you trust that our data that we are sending all over the place, sending it to the cloud, how do we trust that it is secure? We do that through what we call governance, risks, and compliance, to make sure they have the policies that are in the appropriate policies and procedures in place, and then the appropriate risk management programs in place and compliance. And that's what our founder is doing right now. That's what Mr. Mufara is doing right now as we speak. He's listening to and adhering to sound counsel. It's all the steps that Mr. Mufara is making right now is based on counsel, and he's complying to different, we have lawyers all over the world. There are lawyers all over the world right now making sure we are in compliance with every country's regulation. That is governance. And then risk, we've spoken to him offline and online. All passive systems are secure. They're even better secure than more than what we thought, So I just wanted to bring us that. And then they also talk about, guess what they talk about? They talk about artificial intelligence and machine learning. We have that. That is who we are. That's our core. It's inside our, not only our architecture, it's inside our infrastructure and within our operations. Everything that we have is AI driven, AI machine learning. But they also talked something that I would like to bring up here. They also talk about mixed reality. What is mixed reality? It's a blend of the physical and digital worlds. 3D, guys. What is Mr. Mufara talking about lately? You get the point. So Ash Mufara is a godsend to all of us, everyone. Where technology is about to, they are trying to head to, we are there. He has taken us there already. That's my point this evening. So I want to thank you all for coming, and Auntie Lynn, I'm going to send it back to you, but this was really great. And we'll find another week or so to talk about digital transformation. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a great presentation. I think it gave us a taste of what's coming ahead. And I also see that Ash Mufara truly is a visionary in many more ways than one. And I like how you have the acronym SSS that helps us to remember the essence of OnPassive, that it is superior, superior products and services, sophisticated, and we offer the best security. I really like that. And the fact that this is going to be a digitalized globe. It is up and coming. And I like that fact that Ash Mufara is thinking ahead of time. I mean, we may be in 2022, but his mind, and he's working on 10 years from now, 5-10 years from now. And that is a great thing for all of us in OnPassive. So thank you very, very much. I would like to now bring down Jeffrey Morlock. I've asked him to come. Why? Because he's a techie. He loves technology, and he's going to be speaking extemporaneously, whatever he wants to talk about related to our topic. So we'll bring him down now.
Oh my, I'll tell you, thank you so much, Lynn. Oh, it's such a blessing to be here and see all you guys, see and listen. I mean, I get goosebumps. Bob, I'm telling you, man, you were traipsing all over my mentality a minute ago when you were talking about augmented reality and all of the things that are coming. And I'll tell you something, the next 100 years that we've got, you're going to see more inventions coming out of quantum and going into the biologic than you've seen in the history of the world, okay? Next 100 years is going to bring us this. I'm telling you, it's crazy, crazy, but I'm going to leave all that alone. And I just want to say to you techs, man, you guys just took me around the world and back. And oh, I was loving every minute of it, trying to take notes going, whoa, I mean, this is really cool stuff. But if I can, what I'd like to do, first of all, I would thank you, Lynn. I certainly appreciate being able to speak with you today and coming on here. And Ron, I hope that you feel better, brother. I know what it feels like not to feel good. And that's just not a good thing for anybody, but blessings to you and good wishes of wellness for you as well. And thank you to Tex that just went before me and just really kind of exploded my mind a bit. You guys are awesome. I want to try to bring it back down a little bit because wow, I mean, you guys were out there. Right? It's good stuff. But I really want to focus a little bit, if I can, with all the notes that you made me take just a minute ago about innovation labs and why they're important to us, why they're important to OnPassive, why we need to know what they're doing. And also, if I can, I want to point out ways that there are certain things that innovative labs and innovation labs do. And if I can point those out, as I'm pointing these things out and talking about them, I want everybody here to correlate these, and I'll give you ideas and show you how to do that, but correlate these to exactly what OnPassive is and what OnPassive is doing and how Mr. Mufara operates. And as we go through all this, you're going to be going, wow, wow, wow. And hopefully by the end of what I say, plus the big scope, the track around the hub, I'm kind of doing a hub thing, and the text did all the track around the hub. But hopefully by the end of this, you're going to be like, wow, this is why we want innovation labs. And you will see that even though Mr. Mufara he has not come out and said, oh yeah, we've got innovation labs and this is what we're doing, you're going to recognize the mentality. You're going to recognize the work and the effort over the last 3 years. Now, so first of all, an innovation lab is it doesn't run on its own, like Oliver was talking about. It's semi-autonomous, right? It's an organization that has a collection of different people, right? Different technology people, different personalities, and they're bringing them all together into a single space on a long-term basis, right? So we're not just hiring a few people and bring them in and throw them in for one project or something. These people will work with each other and work in this space for a long, long time for the purpose of creating and elaborating and coming up with radical prototype solutions, right, to known challenges. Now, does that sound like anybody familiar to you? I mean, what I want to do here is kind of indicate a few things that tells you how these labs work and then how they all relate to what Mr. Mufara is doing. And I think it was Oliver, and forgive me if I get the names wrong, but I think Oliver, you mentioned something about Ash having done his due diligence. And yes, he has done it in spades, absolute spades. So the first thing we need to understand and think about how Mr. Mufara thinks is labs, innovation labs create open-ended themes for whatever innovation they want, right? This is saying that innovation labs want to get contributions for whatever they're doing from a variety of sources. They're open-ended. What they do is they'll come up with a problem, and rather than try to have somebody stick in a pat answer, it'll be an open-ended theme, and it'll be an open-ended challenge, and together they work toward whatever the outcome is. Typically, what they want is a coalescing of all of the talent working for one focus on that one challenge. And the reason that they bring them all together and they're not autonomous is because they're usually with a larger entity. Governments do this. They have labs all over. OnPassive is doing it. OnPassive is huge. You know that. OnPassive is going to have its own innovation labs. And technically, they're research and development labs for breakthrough solutions. So that's what they are. Now, one of the things, or the main thing that they love to work on is big challenges, not little bitty mediocre things. I mean, these labs come together and you got severe talent. Now, how many times have we heard Mr. Mufara talk about he's got the best techs in the world? He snagged them, right? He J-hooked them from Wells Fargo and Google. I mean, he didn't just go down the street and hire somebody. He went after, and he actually got some of the best techs that we've actually got. And these techs go in with these labs, and they have one singular aim, and that's to create breakthrough out of the box solutions, right, to major challenges existing now and in the future. And how many times have we heard Mr. Mufara project way out into the future? I mean, these big challenges we're talking about, I mean, look at some of them. Look what Chris is attempting with the homelessness. That's huge. How about Mr. Mufara is talking about sustainable energy, right? Renewable green energy globally. That's huge. These aren't little bitty things. How about world hunger? That's been the last one coming up. Everybody's like world hunger. You get these labs together, and this is a neat little thing for you just to think about. If you think about what Mr. Mufara has created with 1 million plus founders, think of that as a huge lab. Think how many people have different personalities and different abilities and skills, and all the ideas that are flowing from us and through and going to Mr. Mufara. Wow. I mean, man, when you start sticking some of these ideas just to play with and see if they can come up with something bigger, that is a big, 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 big pool for them to be pulling from, right? Another thing that I know that Mr. Mufara is real big on, and these labs are as well, is the expectation of breakthrough solutions, okay? This is something, Bob, I think you were talking about how Mr. Mufara has the expectation we can do this, that nothing is impossible. And that's a mindset you've got to have. And that's the mindset that we've got inside these labs, inside the community that is inside this innovation space, if you will, where you get together with all these ideas, and it is literally what I used to call blue sky thinking, where it's a wide open, there's nothing to stop you. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm loving the idea that you guys are talking about innovation labs, because even though it hasn't been a topic, Mr. Mufara has been doing it for 4 years already. And we started small. I mean, we started back in Calcutta, 3.5, almost 4 years ago, and they had a handful of techs, and their first thing was Go Founders. Well, think about this. I mean, because they're not looking for just incremental step-by-steps. They're looking for massive breakthroughs and completion, right? Breakthrough solutions. And when they work on something, then they'll work it to a logical conclusion, and that you'll have a prototype, and then you'll test it, and you'll be like, wow, you'll work the bugs out of it, and then you do it again. I mean, Go Founders went through 6. I think the 7th change for Go Founders was actually O Founders, and he finally got it. I don't know that he's totally satisfied with it, but it's good enough to work, and it works really well for us. So you can see that he's been using this sort of a theoretical development for the last 3 or 4 years, all of these things. And these are for breakthrough solutions, and they're not just onesies, twosies. Another big deal about innovation labs is the fact that they've got so many different types of people and so many backgrounds where you bring in technologies that might be a little bit the same, but there are a lot of different. I mean, I would guarantee that if you took these 4 techs that you've got here and you put them in a room, they're going to come up with solutions that, well, pick any other 4 of us in here that we are not going to come up with, flat out. And some of them are going to be reaching into their specific technologies or their specific educations and stuff. And that's exactly what Mr. Mufara is doing. He's reaching out and he's pulling all this stuff together, and he's really making a brain trust, if you will. But it's targeted. It's not just random. It's targeted. They'll typically impose a problem focus in the lab. In other words, they'll define a problem that needs fixing or a problem they need to have a solution for, and then they draw on all the collaborative technologies that they have to aim or to focus on finding the intention is to find the solution and generate a solution for that problem. And we can see that in everything that he's ever done. Every time he does something and he brings it to us, it's like your texts are saying, man, he keeps us guessing. He keeps us moving forward. He keeps us reaching for the stars, because this is the entire reason for these labs to exist, is to create dynamic solutions to whatever the challenges are. And all of the participants in these labs, regardless of whatever differences they might have, they all treat each other the same. They treat them as partners, and they're all individuals, but they're all treated as equals, right? And how many times have we said, and Mr. Mufara specifically has said, the founders, you know what, every one of us are important, whether we do a little thing or what we think is a great big thing, you know, whether as long as we're following our passion and we're doing what we know to do and we love to do, then it's all going to work out and we're equally valuable. And that's absolutely, man, when you see stuff like that happening in a company, it literally is a no holds barred reach for the stars type scenario, because that's where we're going. And this is where the impetus comes from that we see with OnPassive. It's just, I mean, just going out to the stars and into the galaxy, you know, it's absolutely crazy the way that he's grown this. It's also long-term. You know as well as I do, you've heard Mr. Mufara say, we're here a long time. We're not going anywhere. We're talking generations. We're talking changing the world. We're talking physically changing the world. We're talking about having hundreds of years of changing that's going to result from what OnPassive is doing. And we're talking about giving families and their offspring generational wealth. I mean, this is no small short-term thing. This is something that's absolute huge, and it's horizon scanning. It's scenario foresight. It's strategic planning. This isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And the beauty of it is, to whatever degree each and every one of us as a founder wants to get involved, we can get involved. And on top of all that, once we do, we got a toolbox. Now look at all the tools that we've got. The same thing is going to go with Innovation Labs. They have got wide ranges of methods, just all sorts of stuff. Blue sky, again, you know, anything you can imagine, they're gonna do it. They've already said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. If we want to go after it, we're going to. And they're going to be stimulating creativity. They're going to be guiding discussions. You're going to have collaboration and moderation, and you're going to have developments and prototypes and all sorts of things, even experiments, right? I mean, the role is in these innovation labs, which is exactly what Mr. Mufara has done in the whole of OnPassive, is to bring together the brainiacs, if you will, right, for the methodologies to be used in discovering these challenges, and not only the challenges, but the solutions for them, and for creating more tools of innovation, which is a byproduct of all this brain work going on anyway. And the things we're talking about with the toolbox is the allowance for like design thinking and controlled trials, crowdsourcing stuff, human-centric design. I mean, if you listen to Mr. Mufara, human-centric design on this, everything he says that we do is for the human, for the ease, for freshness, for not making it complicated, to make it really help us, to help us be better and to reach our own potential. And I think it was Bob that was mentioning potential as well. Man, I'm sorry, I'm having a good time here. I really am. Innovative labs, they also, in coming together, they have what we call systemic thinking. So it's almost like you're all plugged into each other. And since you're working on one goal, and believe me, you will know people. In these teams, they are small communities. They're families within themselves, and they know how each other think, and they feed. A lot of times, you know, the dynamic on this website here, Lynn, and everybody talking, how one person will raise an idea and another one will pull another one in, and next thing you know, you got this momentum that is greater than the sum of its parts, right? Well, this is the same thing that occurs with OnPassive and within a successful innovation lab, whereas you may have a dozen people that are all working together for something, but the power and the might and the motivation and the momentum and the solutions that come out of that would be like on steroids, simply because you get that energy, and that energy gets together and it creates a whole lot of stuff. And OnPassive is doing that. You can't think of an innovative lab without thinking about systemic change. By the same token that you can't think of OnPassive with a little bitty mind or a little bitty design on something, because when you think OnPassive, or at least I do, I'm thinking systemic change. I'm thinking change is occurring globally, completely. It's taking things over. It is absolutely disruptive. It is on top of the world. And I'm telling you, when Mr. Mufara takes his brainards and he puts them all together, yeah, it's like Bob said earlier, they're going to reach potential and they're going to blow that out of the water, and they're just going to continue to grow and grow and grow and grow. And I'll kind of leave it at that. But Mr. Mufara has been doing this the whole time. Everything that he has done has been leading to and almost synonymous with innovation labs. It's just that he's on a much larger scale. So it's not a single lab that he's been having. He's had the whole world. He's had 1 million plus founders. He's had the entire hundreds of staff, right? All these techs, but now he's actually pulling some of these techs together and making labs. That is so exciting because that's going to concentrate that power, that focus that he's got, and that design mentality that he's got, and that no holds barred, we're going to do it or die mentality. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, God bless the man. I'm enjoying the ride, and I'm sorry I didn't mean to talk so long with this. This is pretty exciting stuff. Thank you.
It's very exciting. And, we gave us like a short course in innovation labs. And in that 10 or 15 minutes that you spoke, I have a greater understanding of the power of innovation labs.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea. Now I see the ramifications of having a very high quality innovation lab.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
But
the
if you
fact
look
that
at,
yes.
if you look at it, if you look, go look up, just do a Google search on innovation labs. And when you start seeing the things that mark that as being an innovative lab, you're going to be able to correlate those same things with OnPassive. You're going to go, whoa, the man's been doing that for 3 years and I never knew it. But that's how he's building his business, and that's how he's making it global, and that's how it is so big and so powerful and so systemically changing. Oh man, I am so glad thank you guys for your talk, because you got my mind, man, you got my mind going.
Hey,
We love it.
Let me
Come
also
on
add
down.
something.
Yes, come on down.
I want to add something.
Certainly.
Jeffrey just blew up my mind again about this innovative labs things. The scientists that work in these labs, they are not human beings. They are human beings, but in disguise. These are people that their life is all about reading, studying, want to create stuff, testing. They are prototyping. They are collaborative. They are scientists. Relationship don't mean anything to them, like having girlfriends, wives, because you, like a wife, you will not enjoy your husband, or you will not enjoy your wife, because their life is focused on reading, studying, because they need results. They are result-oriented people. So I just want to add that Jeffrey just made me say, let me add on this, because they always brainstorm, prototyping. They want to deliver results. So I just want to add that there, and say, Jeffrey, thank you for making me think about that.
He's
also,
revving us up. Mm-hmm. Come on down.
Yes.
Bob,
I mean,
join us.
Listening to Jeffrey as well, I agree. OnPassive is one huge, giant innovation lab. Looking at it from where we came from the initial inception, you know that the scope of OnPassive has been changing significantly from where we started to where we are. That is innovative lab. Mr. Mufara, because of who he is, he has a tendency of letting people expand themselves. He doesn't want to limit anybody. So when these talents come in to OnPassive, this is the benefit to him and to us. When these talents come in and he lets them loose, they bring innovative ideas, and then our scope shifts. It changes from one thing to another, and we are getting better and better and better. So OnPassive is one huge innovation lab. Yep.
I agree.
And you can track.
Exciting. The more we talk about it, the more you realize what's coming. What's coming is big. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
And it's not just one thing. It's not just co-founders. Everything
Yeah.
Mr. Mufara has ever done, they'll do it and then they'll redo it. And then they'll get
Yes.
some brainiac idea and they'll redo it again. And they come up with all, it's phenomenal. When you look at where we're going from, I mean, just in the 4 years that we've been doing this, I mean, people are like, 4 years, are you kidding? I'm thinking it should have taken us twice this long. It should have taken us a lot longer to do this than we have. And where we're going in the next 3 years, oh my gosh, you ain't seen nothing yet. God bless the man.
Yeah.
You're right, Bob. He keeps us guessing.
Yeah. And guess what too? The news has gone out in the tech world, in the tech world, that he's liberal. He lets people do, think innovatively. That's why last week he told us about engineers. People are soliciting him, right? Why do you think that is happening? Because the news, those scientists, those who are out there who think magic, they are beginning to understand, hey, there's this man who can let us be us and just unleash ourselves. That's why he talked about the engineers and, people are coming around to solicit him so that he's going to help, development and things like that.
And again, I'm sorry, I can't remember which one of you brought this up, but you were talking about the scientists and the scientific approach that people use. These, I say techies, but they're absolutely, these are engineers. These are people top in their field. And you're right. What's drawing them in? I mean, think about it. I'm the same way. If somebody gets me and says, I want you to do a job for me, my thing is, tell me what you want done and let me do it. Don't then try to tell me how to do it. Because if you do that, that is going to be terribly, terribly frustrating. And there's a lot of folks out there that they have caps put on them as a technologist or as a scientist, or maybe they're funding, or maybe they're on deadline, but whatever, they're not allowed to reach they're not even allowed to reach for their potential, much less reach their potential. And one of you mentioned that. And that's another thing about On Passage that is absolutely just, man, when you talk about it turning the model of business on its ear, it's done it in every way possible. I mean, it is no joke when we say that they are the shift from the online presence and the model shift. Oh, absolutely, in every way. And when you start talking about these people that no longer have deadlines, right? Because when's the last time you saw Ash put a deadline or a money cap on anything? He's like, this is what we want done, figure out how we do it. And they are in hog heaven. I am telling, and I would be too, because that means it doesn't matter. I can let loose my think power, and that's what they do. And when they are loving life, and that's why they're leaving other companies and coming. And you're right, the tech world knows about us. They've been watching us. They know exactly who we are, and I'll guarantee you, some of them are probably, well, I don't know. They may have some diapers on, but I'm telling you what, they're probably not feeling real good about or secure about their company if they're looking really hard at what we're doing and realizing, we need to change our game because we've got an up and comer here that's look what they've done. Look where they're at. They haven't even launched yet. Yeah, you got people backstroking.
Collins, we want to hear from you, Collins. What do you think?
Lynn, is
Sorry, unmute, please.
all right. Yeah. Jeffrey, you've just blown my mind. When I just think about a innovation lab, it is something that is really, really massive. And I believe what Mr. Ash Mufara is doing now, I think we're just having it in the right time. Because as I said in the presentation, is we cannot do without it. Because I asked myself when Mr. Ash Mufara announced that we will have an innovation lab, I started to reflect on the past, as Bob said, and Oliver have just mentioned. And I said, how long can Mr. Ash Mufara think on his own? You need those people who can think, those people who can come up with ideas, and Mr. Ash Mufara also is someone with an idea. It's just the master of it, but you need people who can look at it and say, yes. I said, okay, I want my phone to fly. Can my phone fly? Yes. In IT or what, you can't say no. The moment you said no, you are out of job. You either do it or they'll find the person that will do it. There is no way you can say no. I've been in IT ourselves for a very long time, did user acceptance testing, and I met a man, in the presentation when I was presenting our software. You know what he said to me? Yes, you present everything. Yes, we build it up to the requirement, but I want you to do it like this. At one point I was just like, after this hard work, come on, just take it and allow me be. But what he was saying is true. He said, if you cannot do it, we look for another company. Can you do it or not? And I said, yes, we can do it, because there is no way you can say no the moment you are out of job. You said yes and you come back. Everyone was like, why did you say yes? What do you want me to say? Do you want me to say no? There is no way you can say no. And this is what innovation is. There is no way, there is no room for no. It is always can-do attitude. And with what Mr. Ashmara wants to do, it's just like, you will not have it in one place. You have a lot of, maybe all over the continent, because you need the brightest of the brightest brain. You need those people who can see, as Oliver said, thinking. That's all what they know. There is no way they can switch and say no, because it's always you think creative. You think out of the box, and there's always a question of why not. There is no yes or no. Why yes and why no? So you can't take yes for an answer, you can't take no for an answer. When they say yes, you must ask why. What if we do it like this? What if this happened? What if that happened? You must always find solution to something. And these people, they are the brain that will give solution to everything. Because remember, Mr. I said, we unpassive is here to stay. And this is the next phase. Remember, this is the next phase. As Oliver said, our ecosystem is done, and it is true, it is done. So what I'm saying here with the founders, people, some of the founders feel like, oh, why are we still doing something? Why, we should launch, or maybe Mr. Ashmara is creating something that would delay. No, this is the next phase. We have done the first phase, and now we are going to phase 2. Phase 2 is sustainability. People who can think and build our ecosystem, add more to existing products and modify it, drive new crazy technology. We don't know where unpassive will land us. Maybe land us to space, as Mr. Amufara said. Maybe there are a lot of things, the globe, people, people expectation are just crazy. We are humans, and we want our job to be easy. There is nobody who wants like a very difficult life. And if someone is there to make your life easy, will you go to someone who will make your life difficult? No. You want something that can take you from A to B, B to Z. You just want everything shortcut, 2-stop, and let me get my stuff I want. And sometimes people say we want single click. That's what people always said. They don't want click 1, 2, 3 to get my stuff. I just want double click or one click and it's in front of me. Can you give it to me? Yes, that's what innovation is. I don't want 20 clicks to arrive to where I want. I just want 1 click and I'm there. Can you provide it? Yes. There is no. Then you will say yes, go back and think about it. I've been in a company where they sell solution before they even develop. Mr. I said it last time. I've worked in that type of company. Marketers will go and sell it and then come back and tell you do it. If you cannot do it, you are fired. We need the money. So I just want to add that innovation is massive. It is massive. And honestly, if you are a founder, you are not excited, please, you just have to understand what it is, because that is the dynamic, that's a game changer in unpassive. And it will increase, as one of the founders said, Oliver said, it will change our bottom line. What our expectation is massive. And Mr. Ash will not stop there. Honestly, if you think Mr. Ash will stop there, then you must be joking. You need to sleep, get up and rethink again, because this is just the beginning of the journey. So I will leave it there, Lynn. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We would like to hear from Marty DeGarmo. I'm sure he has quite a bit to say after hearing all of this from all of us. I'm sure he's excited.
What could I possibly say after all this? Wow. Well, the way I see it, and I'll keep it really simple because that's what I do best, is these labs are set up like an incubator, okay? You put in there what you want, and everybody gets together and turns the egg and does what they got to do, and then one day it hatches. Ash comes in with an idea, and like all the tech guys says, they're not going to be somebody in there. Well, I don't think we can do that because he won't be there long. But a lot of people that are in these labs, they want to be there. They think that way anyway. They think outside the box. And Ash isn't looking how to make a new paintbrush, okay? He's looking to make things better for mankind. Things that will make a huge impact in the world, like disrupt it, which means it shakes things up. A lot of the items we haven't seen yet, he's been working on before on passive. I mean, don't kid yourself. You know, if he's going on patents and stuff like that, they're years in the workings, okay? They're years and years and years. And his mind is a miniature innovation lab to begin with, right? He goes to people with an idea. I want this, boom, boom, boom. A lot of people in history, not a lot, but there's a handful of people in history that go and they say, I want this. And they go, you want something that isn't there. I mean, you know, but when you get a lab together and you get the best of the best, like the MIT people and the other people or engineers or whatever that really think outside the box, that's how they are. And you put them all in one room, the ingredients is you can't have nothing but greatness come out the other side. And he has the will. He's not money oriented, so he's going to give them the time they need. And when it comes out the other end, mankind will not be the same as it is today. I really can't explain any better than that. If you can get the right thought, and because you believe anything's possible, that eliminates a big mess. And then you work on how do we make it happen. And that's what he's doing. That's what he's going to do for all of us. That's what he has been doing. Because keep in mind, if we don't know 90%, there's a big chunk of ice under the water, a big chunk. And we're going to see it as he pulls it out. And we're going to be seeing it soon. And I think we'll be amazed, absolutely amazed. When he tells you to look to your left and look to your right, what you see will never be the same. That's a big statement to make. And he did not flinch making it. He didn't sneeze. He didn't rub his head. He meant it, said it, boom. And we're very fortunate to be even part of that. But yeah, there's things that'll happen that will shake the world. No doubt about it. I'm talking light bulb flying for the first time, cars driving. I mean, we're going to be at that league. We're all fortunate enough to be there. That's all I got. There's no way I could talk anymore. Everybody, why'd you make me go last, Lynn? That's not fair.
Because then you get to hear from everybody and then say your piece. That's the best position to be in my opinion.
I'm just kidding.
I know you like to go after people speak, so that's why I lined you up right where you were. Thank you so much, Marty. Vincent, did you want to say anything? I want to make sure you have a chance to speak. You're okay? All righty. And Ron Hulbert, my co-host.
Wow, what an exciting night, huh? Knowledge is a wonderful thing. Thank you much to our tech guys. We really appreciate you doing this on our webinars for us. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. It's been a great night. Go to the side a little bit. Chris, congratulations on your daughter's graduation. Anytime somebody graduates from college is a great success. So kudos to her. And Jeffrey, man, what can you say, buddy? If you want to know some knowledge, just ask Jeff. He knows it. He knows it, and he can lead you to it. So I can't say much more than that, Lynn. I mean, these guys were great. They covered all their bases. And the nice thing about it is when they can cover it up with research, okay? They can back it up with research. So they're not making these things up just to draw people to listen to them, okay? Because I'm sure they'd have other things to do on Friday night. I don't know what, okay? But there could be something. So, but no, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate Lynn for what she does. She set this up again, and just amazing. I'm just glad to be here.
Thank you so
Just
much.
glad to be here.
Hey,
Awesome.
Lynn,
Go ahead, Jeffrey.
can I address a topic that was brought up just a couple of minutes ago? And again, forgive me, I can't remember which one of you guys
No
brought it up.
problem. We'll let you go,
But-
and then we'll have Chris speak right after you. Chris has
Beautiful.
joined us.
Well, this won't take long, but as long as it's on my brain, I tried to cover it a little bit, I think, in the last video that I put out. But the topic was people that have an expectation of what we should be doing, what On-Passive should be doing, and when we should be doing it, and those sorts of things. And I just want, I teach my team, I let my team know this. I don't know how you could really teach your team, but you try, that we don't know what Ash knows, and we don't know what the people that work with Ash knows. So for us to consider that we know when this should launch, or we know what it should have, or how it should act, or what it should look like, is just, it's absurd. But we all do it. I do it. I mean, I can't tell you how many times. I mean, I've tried for 3 years to figure out when we're going to launch. I've stopped trying because you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me what that date is. I know it's going to happen, and we're getting bigger and better and stronger and faster and sweeter and redder and all that, right? So if we can just keep, in our own mind, our own expectation that this is moving forward, it's moving forward in the right way, and the timing is perfect. We're not going to be early, but we're not going to be late. It's going to happen when it happens, and when it does happen, it's going to be perfect. And one of these texts, again, one of them, I can't remember which one, but they were talking about the timing of things and how the timing is good, and you're going to have the synchronicities and everything coming together to make these things whenever they're ready. That's where we're at. That's where we're going. That's where On-Passive is going. So if we can just kind of manage our own expectation, knowing that this is going to be for our benefit. And if we were to launch next week and we aren't ready, that's going to be detrimental long term. We don't want to do that, because most of the companies out there, when they fail, it's because they did not take into consideration how much success they had in their potential. Like I said in the video last week, how many of us are going to be terribly, terribly upset if we only plan for 400 million and then 6 months after we open, we're at $1 billion or 700 or 800 million, and we start crashing and burning because we can't keep up with the technology. We can't keep up with consumer demand. We do not want that. And we want these people in these labs, the innovation labs, and in the tech field, and all these people they're working with, we want them doing what they do, because that's why they do it. I can't do it. The text will tell you, these guys, man, they got a certain way of thinking and doing things, and I want them doing it. And if we ain't ready to launch, we don't want to launch, because we want to be here for generations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chris, come on down and speak to us. Congratulations on Amanda and her graduation.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate all the nice, warm words from my daughter. It was quite amazing. Thank you very much. Lynn and Ron, thank you for having me. My doctor of the techs, Jeffrey Morlock. You guys are, of course, confusing my brain again. And then, old Oliver said, Chris, you got to get on there and break this down for these simple-minded people like yourself. I said, not a problem, Bob. I can do that. So, again, Chris Johnson's coming out here, breaking out of the tech world and into back to normal Chris Johnson world. And this is how I think about it. And I really do think about this stuff. A think tank. Labs are think tanks, except Ash Mafara's labs are like an ocean, the size of oceans. And he gets the smartest people in the world, and he says, dive in. Get in there. Go all the way to the bottom, go to the side, find everything new. Because you realize in oceans, there's things that we haven't never even seen or heard about on some of the deepest parts of the ocean. But see, that's where Ash Mafara wants us to go. That's where he's taking us. He's not just taking us way up. He's digging under. He's swimming all over the world looking for the greatest technologies because Ashmafar and Impassive and the foundership, he wants to be number one all the time, not just number one. He wants to be the best of the best. Okay. That's what he's doing for us on a daily basis. So some of the people that he hires, I probably couldn't even hold a conversation with, but good morning, good night, and thank you. And it would crack me up. I think it was, I don't know if it was Oliver or Vincent that said, these guys don't have girlfriends. They don't. And you know what? He's probably right. These men and women think themselves so deep into what they're doing because they believe in it. Kind of sounds like a guy with a little goatee that we all know about, but he does have a wonderful relationship. But you're right. These guys are in that ocean and they're swimming around. What's that over there? We could do something with that. And that's what Ashmafar has done. He's going to keep doing it. And we all get to be a part of it. So I'm ready to dive into that ocean because I'm also, believe it or not, love to learn. I love to be educated. The tech guys, I got to have at least 10 more dinners with so they can fill my brain up with this crazy stuff. But they do pay me the big bucks to come on here and break it down after they break it down. So I appreciate it. But guys, get your bathing suits on. Get ready to swim. Get your wings on. Get ready to fly. Because where Ashmafar and this amazing team is going to take us is going to be unbelievable. And I can't wait. Lynn, Ron, back to you. Thank you for letting me speak. And again, thank you for my daughter's master's degree. Woo! I'm really fired up today. Thanks, Lynn. Back to you.
Yeah, we got to see your Facebook videos of the event. So it was really nice. I felt like I was there and it was really lots of joy. All of us, we're a family. So when one person graduates, it's like we all graduated. You can just feel that happiness. So congratulations to you, the proud father of a beautiful daughter who's very intelligent, but more than that, she has a heart for humanity. She's just like you. So I think you're really proud of that fact. I know that.
She's the brains of that family.
And she wears the pants in your family too, right? Chris has often said that.
She definitely runs me around like she's my wife or mother. That's no lie. She was yelling at me today for some reason. I just kind of have that selective hearing lately. So, but she's phenomenal. I'm very blessed to have her. So thanks
Comes
again.
with age.
And she is a founder of Unpassive, no less than that. So we're glad to have her and you as well. All right. So are we ready to wrap it up, Marty?
Let's hear from Julie.
Oh, Julie, please come in, Julie. Julie.
Hi, Ron. Hi, Lynn.
Hey.
Hello.
Thank you, everyone. All the gentlemen that was speaking about technology, about innovative labs. That's amazing. Everything that you are speaking right now and the way you spoke, the way you share the information, it's wrapped around with heart. And that's one of the reasons why what Unpassive is doing right now is creating everything with a heart around it. I was literally looking up some information about artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence has been around for 65 years, has been around for over 65 years. But I haven't heard any buzz or any successful or anything that makes the most impact like it is in Unpassive. Unpassive has not introduced to the entire world yet, but yet it has made the most impact in over 1 million people. And soon it's going to be multi-millions people, and soon it's going to be multi-billions people around the world. And I think it's very important for all of us to truly understand Unpassive vision statement. I don't know how many of us are actually going back and read that statement. It does carry a lot of, I would say, a lot of responsibilities for all of us as the founders of this company. So I'm going to pause right there And I'm going to say, let's do this. Let's do this, everyone. No matter where you are in the world, no matter who you are, whether or not you are a founder, a prospectors, I guess that's a word, or future customers. Every single one of us made a beautiful painting. If you are founders of OnPassive, we are creating the most beautiful art, most beautiful piece of art that every single one of us is a piece of puzzles. Mr. Ashmufarat has said, we are all different, but we are all special. We cannot miss, the puzzle of Lynn Nakamoto or Ron Hulbert or Collins, or, all of us, we cannot missing that, because every single one of us carry that. Without that missing piece of puzzle, we cannot complete the painting or the art of OnPassive. And if you are not founders of OnPassive, you are a piece of puzzle in the world. The world cannot miss you. You, me, every one of us makes it so special. So how are we going to be the role, playing the role, whether or not you are a founder, or whether or not you are a mom or a dad or a brother or a sister or a friend or a neighbor? We all could be that puzzle of something. So I like to leave a message to everyone that we are all important. We are all, no matter where we are. Every single one of us who come across someone in our life, we meant to be there. We meant to be there at the time that we are there. Because at the end of the day, I believe that we are there to help someone else. Now we are all in OnPassive with the leadership of Mr. Ashmufarat. I believe that all of us would make a biggest impact in the world, no matter who we are, the people that we come across. And it started with Mr. Ashmufarat when he made a decision, whether or not it is him alone, but I believe it is not just him alone. It's his family, his team, it's everybody involved in OnPassive made that decision to be bigger than who they are, to be bigger than the numbers, to be bigger than whatever that is. We are all having that purpose. So let's just play the beautiful role of where we are, whether or not we are founders, customer, maybe you're just a neighbor of somebody. Be that role, be that beautiful piece of puzzle that will make the most beautiful picture of OnPassive or the world. And so we all know Mr. Ashmufarat creating the technology, all with heart. And that's a big deal to me. So let's do this together. Let's travel this journey, and let's make the most impact in the world, whether or not you're a founder, a customer, a neighbor, a sister, a brother, a lover, whatever it is. Let's play that role, because we are all important. We can make a difference in everyone's life. Thanks so much for letting me talk.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I see that we have David Bacall in the house. Let's see, might have gotten booted. Let me check the attendees list. I just saw him. You guys see him? He was just here a second ago. Let me know if you spot him. He'd like to have him speak with us. Is he gone, you guys?
I think so. I don't see him.
Oh, okay. I think it's probably his network is poor.
Yeah.
Hopefully he comes back in. I would have been nice to hear from him. but it's okay. We tried.
That's a wrap it.
All right. So at this point, I think we've covered the topic quite well. We had a lot of input from our IT professionals. Jeffrey gave a really good explanation of innovation centers. Thank you for that. Thank you, Jeffrey, for this graphic. The red graphic behind me, Ron and Jeffrey, is courtesy of Jeffrey. Thank you to Bill Must, who creates all of our Zoom backgrounds for us. We have a whole variety, including that OTech Pros Keeping It Simple background he made for us as well. So thank you to Bill Must as well. Thank you to Chris Johnson for always helping us. Julie's there to help us as well. Marty, who opens up our webinar every Friday. We appreciate you very, very much. Did I miss anybody, you guys? I dread when I miss someone.
If you did, we love you.
I think I got everyone tonight. I think so. Thank you to our attendees. We do hope that this webinar was of benefit to you. And we'll be back next week, Friday, with another topic. We have pretty sure what we want it to be. And it's going to be a very exciting and engaging topic, in our opinion. So please join us next Friday. Tomorrow, we have OTech Pros at a new time. It's going to be every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. We will post it in the back office as well as in social media. The topic will also be Innovation Labs. And then we have the Kenya webinar at 12:30 p.m. tomorrow. And we'll be talking about, it's going to be open mic, open to unpassive founders and guests as well. And then at 2 o'clock, we have the lovely Julie and Milo with their Saturday show. So join them at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then we have the Papua New Guinea webinar that's open to the public, and it's also live streamed. That's going to be at midnight Eastern Daylight Time. And
Hey,
the
Lynn.
topic will then be Innovation Labs as well.
Lynn,
Yes.
I think David just popped on.
Oh, great. Is he in the attendee side?
I think.
Okay,
David, can you raise your hand?
Let us know if you spot him. Anybody spot him?
He is in. I see him. He's in. His hands raised.
Okay.
See him? There you go.
Hi, Lynn.
All right. Come and join us, David. Good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Ron. And my, oh my. I'm listening to Jeffrey just blowing up on the, this, what do you call it again?
Innovation Lab.
Innovation Labs. Yeah, man. You know, for us Papua New Guineans, we are just tagging along. And I thank you, everyone, for hosting this all the time. It's knowledge to us that we pay for, you know, some of us pay for these things when you attend such webinars. And this is given to us freely. And I appreciate all the tech guys, 4 of you. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. And we appreciate that. It's valuable. So all of us are learning. I think if my PNG founders are here, they'll appreciate that too. So thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Ron, for this wonderful webinar. And we see you in the PNG one in the next 24 hours, I guess. All right.
It's always great to see your smiling face.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Yes.
Go ahead, Lynn. Are we
Yeah,
done?
I think your PNG people will enjoy the topic. They'll be excited as I am tonight. All right. Thank you, everyone, for attending. And at this time, we are going to unmute everybody so you can say bye-bye to one another.
Good night, y'all.
We'll go back to the
gallery
view. There's the gallery.
Was a webinar. Thank you.
Bye. Awesome. Awesome.
Guys.
Bye. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Enjoy the weekend.
From Houston.
Bye, Lynn.
Friday night.
Hi,
everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Hello, Sister Runa.
Good morning.
Hi, my sister Julie.
Good morning.
Good night. Bye-bye. Good night. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Ron.